So today I'm doing something very different. I'm not reacting to a trailer, I'm not reviewing a movie. I'm just talking about some headlines that I saw today. I'm starting what I hope to be a continuing series that I do every so often, covering movie news that interests me. This series is going to be called Brett Clancy's Thoughts On. And the news today was that Scream 7 is no longer going to be directed by two of the founders of Radio Silence, Tyler Gillett and Matt Bettinelli-Olpin, who I thought were great directors. But today it was announced that Scream 7 is now going to be from the director of Happy Death Day, Christopher Landon. I've heard differing opinions on this. Some people are excited. Some people are bummed that these directors are now not going to do another Scream film. And I'm kind of neutral. For one thing, I was just looking at the most recent films each of these directors have done before they went into doing a Scream film. Now, at least with the guys from Radio Silence, they did Ready or Not, an R-rated horror comedy, which sounds very much like what Scream is. With Christopher Landon, one of the main complaints I've heard out of Happy Death Day is that they were just PG-13 horror films, that they could have been way better if they went rated R. And I gotta be honest, the majority of his filmography doesn't feel like Scream. To be fair, looking at the filmography of even someone like Matt Reeves, you couldn't immediately say, yes, that guy that directed Cloverfield and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, he's perfect for directing a Batman film. You couldn't say that just by looking at those other films. But at the same time, with those other films, Matt Reeves proved himself to be a great director. With Christopher Landon, the majority of his films have gotten either lukewarm to kind of negative reception from a lot of people. Because also, when Radio Silence did Ready or Not, that one got a lot of praise. It was a hit. A lot of people really enjoyed that film. But this guy's latest film is this family movie, We Have a Ghost, I believe it's called. It was one of those movies that just came out and people instantly forgot about it. And yet he directed and did the screenplay for that film. It was just strange hearing that he was going to be the director of Scream 7. But granted, putting that aside, he did do a film called Freaky, which that one was rated R. That one was a slasher film, a comedy. So I imagine if I saw that one, it would make more sense him directing Scream 7. I just thought Scream found its director already with Radio Silence. This franchise seemed to know what it had. These directors were excellent. There are so many shots between Scream 2022 and Scream 6 that are just iconic ghost face shots. Just iconic stuff they have done with this horror icon. And I'm not saying that this other director can't do something of his own and make something that is special. Mission Impossible went through the same thing, where for a while, until it got to Christopher McQuarrie, you had a lot of directors thrown in there. Say Mission Impossible 3 or Ghost Protocol. They're each great Mission Impossible films in their own way, and they each feel different. Their filmmaker being allowed to do what they want to do. So part of me is actually very excited for this director that now he's getting to take on this franchise such as Scream, add his stamp, add himself to this iconic franchise. The thing is that when Mission Impossible was going through all those directors, and then they found Christopher McQuarrie, now they stayed with Christopher McQuarrie. You know, after Wes Craven died, it was 11 years until we got another Scream film after Scream 4. So they finally found these people after 11 years. They've shown themselves to have so much potential and be very excellent in their craft, and now we're getting someone else. It makes sense because these directors have their own project that they're working on. They're working on a Universal Studios monster movie. Well, what I'm saying is that I'm hopeful that this director will be able to pull off a Scream film coming off of Radio Silence, as well as these other directors made a Scream film coming off of the great Wes Craven. But just everything associated with this that I mentioned, it was just awkward. It was awkward for them to choose him. It's too soon to tell, obviously, in this moment, but I thought I could add some input to this. I thought my input might be interesting for you guys to hear. Guys, what are your thoughts on this new director for Scream 7? Are you excited? Do you actually hate this idea? Or you like me, kind of on the fence, just waiting to see how things play out. Whatever it is, comment that down below, and I'll see you guys next time.